The doorbell rang. Evan. I opened the door, and there he was. Tall, tan, with that perfectly practiced smile. His shirt was black silk, open 2 buttons too low. Ethan, he said, extending his hand like we were old friends. I shook it once, firm and brief. Evan. He stepped inside like he owned the place. Then, without hesitation, he kissed Clara on the lips, a territorial move if there ever was one. And this must be the famous Mara, he said, turning to her. Clara mentioned you were beautiful, but she undersold it. Thanks, Mara said with a small polite smile. You're exactly what I pictured. He laughed, uncertain if it was a compliment. We sat down to eat. The risotto came out perfectly creamy. Even Clara, who usually picked at her food, went for seconds. This is incredible, Evan said. Who made it? Ethan, Clara answered. You cook? Evan asked, eyebrows raised. That's unusual for a man. Why? Mara asked before I could. Cooking is basic survival, not a gender role. He chuckled awkwardly. Of course, I just meant it's refreshing to see a man comfortable with non-traditional tasks. I don't see it as non-traditional, I said quietly. I see it as caring for the people I love. Clara's fork froze halfway to her mouth. She said nothing, but I saw her processing that line. The majority of men don't cook, she muttered finally. Most men don't do a lot of things they should, I replied. But that's not tonight's topic. Mara gently squeezed my hand under the table. Evan noticed. His fake smile faltered. So, Mara, Evan said, changing tactics. What's your opinion on open marriages? They can work, she said calmly, for people who truly want them, but not everyone does. And for you, would it work? She tilted her head. I wouldn't know. I've never been married. But you're dating a married man, he said, smiling like he'd found her hypocrisy. I'm dating a man who's divorcing, Mara said evenly. The table went silent. Clara's face went pale. Divorcing? She repeated, her voice cracking. Ethan, what is she talking about? I looked her straight in the eye. The papers I signed 2 months ago, the ones waiting for your signature at the attorney's office. I never agreed to a divorce, she said, voice trembling. We agreed to an open marriage. You agreed to an open marriage, I said. I agreed to give you what you wanted, while preparing to leave. Her eyes filled with tears. That's manipulation. No, Clara. Manipulation is convincing someone they're not enough while sleeping with your life coach. Evan shifted in his chair, uncomfortable. Let's all take a breath, he said, in his calm, rehearsed voice. Strong emotions cloud judgment. I turned to him. Save the therapy lines for your clients, Evan. Ethan, please, Clara whispered. You can't just decide something like this without your approval? I asked. You decided to open our marriage without mine. What's the difference? That was different, she snapped. In what way? She had no answer. Mara quietly set her fork down. I think it's time for me to go, she said gently. Dinner was wonderful, Clara. Truly enlightening. Evan didn't offer his hand as she stood. He just nodded stiffly. I walked her to the door. Behind us, Clara's voice was breaking, demanding explanations. Outside, Mara turned to me. Are you okay? Better than I've been in years. Call me when it's over, she said softly. Then she kissed me and left. When I came back, Clara was crying on the couch. Evan sat beside her, looking like he wanted to be anywhere else. Why? She sobbed. Why are you doing this? Because I deserve to be happy, I said. And you taught me I wouldn't be with you. I still love you, she whispered. No, I said. You love the idea of having me. Evan stood up awkwardly. I think I should go. This feels like a private moment. Clara turned on him. You're leaving? Now? He shrugged. You need space to process with Ethan. We'll talk tomorrow. And just like that, he was gone. Clara stared at the door, tears streaking her mascara. Something in her expression changed. The first hint of realizing she'd finally lost control. I sat across from her. The divorce papers are fair. 50-50 split. You can keep the house. I already found an apartment. I don't want a divorce, she said. That's not up to you anymore. Is it because of her? It's because of me, I said. Mara came after, but the decision came the night you told me to do whatever I wanted. Clara didn't speak. I gathered the plates and took them to the sink. The risotto had gone cold, but I packed it away anyway. It was too good to waste. When I came back, she was gone, upstairs behind a closed door. I turned off the lights, went to the guest room, and lay down with Cooper at my feet. My phone buzzed. A text from Mara. Thank you for letting me be part of your life tonight. Sleep well. For the first time in months, I did. 3 days passed after that dinner. Clara didn't sign the papers. She didn't talk to me either. She spent most of her time locked in the bedroom upstairs. I could hear her voice through the door, sometimes crying, sometimes shouting, always on the phone with Evan. On Thursday, my friend Lucas called. Can you come to my office? I need to show you something, he said. Lucas worked in private security. He had access to databases most people didn't even know existed. When I arrived, he was waiting with a thick folder on his desk. Sit down, he said. You're not gonna like this. I sat. What's going on? It's about your wife's boyfriend, he said. Evan Cross isn't who he says he is. He opened the folder. Photos, documents, even old newspaper clippings. His real name is Eric Dawson. Changed it about 8 years ago after a lawsuit in Florida. For what? I asked. Fraud, Lucas said. He used to run another so-called personal development group. Same setup as now, mostly married women. He convinced them to invest in his expansion projects. Then the money disappeared and so did he. I looked at the photos. Same man, just younger, shorter hair. The same fake smile. How many victims? I asked quietly. 7 documented. Probably more who never spoke up. Why isn't he in jail? He's smart, Lucas said. Never promises specific returns. Everything's framed as a donation to personal growth. Technically not illegal, just predatory. I closed the folder slowly. Why did you even look into this? Because my wife asked me to, Lucas said. She knows a few women from Clara's group. 2 of them mentioned Evan was asking for money for business expansion. My wife got suspicious. Did Clara give him money? No idea, he said. But if she hasn't, she will soon. That's his pattern. I nodded, staring at the folder. Can I keep this? It's yours, he said. Then he added, but Ethan, think about what you're going to do with it. What do you mean? I mean, you could just let things play out. The divorce is in motion. In a few months, you'll be free. Why complicate it? Because even if Clara betrayed me, I said quietly, she doesn't deserve to be conned. Lucas sighed. You're either a saint or an idiot. Maybe both. That night, I had dinner with Mara at her apartment. I showed her the folder. She read through every page carefully. This man is a predator, she said finally. I know. Are you going to tell Clara? I'm thinking about it. Mara set the folder down. Can I be honest with you? Always. I don't think you should, she said. Why not? Because it's not your responsibility anymore. Clara made her choices. If you show her this, she'll probably accuse you of lying to separate her from him. You'll become the villain. I knew she was right. I knew Clara's first instinct would be denial. So what do you suggest? I asked. Focus on your life. On us, she said gently. Let Evan dig his own grave. People like him always do. And if he drains her bank account before that happens? Mara looked at me, her expression calm but firm. That's not your burden anymore, Ethan. I studied her face. Steady, grounded, no judgment. Just truth. I can't just do nothing, I said finally. She sighed. I know. That's what makes you you. But sometimes the best way to help someone is to let them face the consequences. That night, I barely slept. The folder sat on my nightstand, almost glowing in the dark. By morning, I'd made up my mind. I wasn't going to confront Clara directly, but I wasn't going to ignore it either. I called my attorney, Richard. Hey, I said. I need to speed up the divorce process. Any particular reason? He asked. I want the property division finalized before my wife can move any funds to third parties. You think she's being manipulated? I know she is, I said, but I can't prove it yet. I can file to expedite, Richard said, but she still needs to sign. I'll handle that, I said. When I got home that evening, Clara was in the kitchen. The first time I'd seen her downstairs in days. We need to talk, she said. All right. She sat down, eyes tired, makeup barely covering the dark circles beneath them. Evan thinks we should try couples therapy, she said. Clara, we're getting divorced. It doesn't have to end like this, she said quickly. We could fix things. Evan thinks that? I asked. The man you're sleeping with wants us to save our marriage? He says he made a mistake, that he pushed me too far, she said. He only wants what's best for me. I almost laughed. Almost. Clara, I asked carefully, has Evan asked you for money? Her expression changed immediately. What? It's a simple question. Has he? That's none of your business. So yes, I said. It's an investment, she said defensively. He's expanding his program to other cities. It's an amazing opportunity. How much? I'm not... How much, Clara? She looked away. 50,000. I felt the air leave my lungs. Have you given it to him? Not yet. I just need to move some funds first. I stood, went to my briefcase and pulled out the folder. I set it in front of her. What's this? Read it. She opened it, flipping through the pages. Her face changed as she went. Confusion, denial, then panic. This is fake, she said. It's not. His real name is Eric Dawson. He's done this before. Look at the dates, the victims. You can call them if you want. I won't, she said. Sandra Miller, I said quietly. Lost 70,000. Her number's on the last page. Clara stared at the folder like it might bite her. Why are you showing me this? Because even if I don't love you anymore, I don't want to watch you get destroyed. She was silent for a long time. Finally, she whispered. I need to think. Take all the time you want, I said. Just don't give him that money. I left her at the table and went to the guest room. Cooper followed me, curling up at my feet. An hour later, I heard the front door open and close. Clara was gone. I called Mara and told her what happened. She reacted exactly like I expected. I said, denial first. But I saw the doubt in her eyes. She'll confront him, Mara said. Be careful. That could be dangerous. I know, I said. But I can't protect her from herself anymore. Mara sighed softly on the other end. You did the right thing, Ethan. Even if she can't see it yet. Do you really think so? I do. Now come over. I'll make you dinner. I grabbed my keys. Cooper watched from the window as I left. I didn't know what would happen next, whether Clara would believe me or run straight back to him, but at least I'd done my part. The rest was up to her. 2 days passed before I heard anything from Clara. Then, out of nowhere, I got a call from an unfamiliar number. Ethan, a woman said. This is Melissa. I'm part of Clara's group, the one Evan used to run. She's at my house right now. I think you should come. My stomach tightened. What happened? It's better if you see for yourself. She gave me her address. 20 minutes later, I was knocking on her door. Melissa opened it with an anxious look. She's in the guest room, she said quietly. She hasn't eaten since yesterday. What happened with Evan? I asked. Melissa hesitated. Clara confronted him with the documents you gave her. He denied everything. Said you forged it all to turn her against him. But Clara did something none of us ever had the courage to do. What's that? She called one of the women listed in the file. Sandra Miller. I froze. And they talked for 2 hours. Sandra confirmed every detail. Same pattern, same promises, even the same favorite restaurant. Clara was shattered. I exhaled slowly. Can I see her? Try, Melissa said, but be gentle. She's not herself. I walked down the hallway and knocked softly. Clara, it's me. Silence. Melissa called. I just want to make sure you're okay. After a few seconds, the door opened a few inches. Clara stood there, pale and hollow-eyed. Her hair was tangled, her makeup gone. She looked like someone who hadn't slept in days. You were right, she said hoarsely. I'm so sorry. I shook my head. Don't apologize. I was an idiot, she whispered. Sandra told me things he said to her, word for word. You're special. I've never met anyone like you. We're going to change the world together. It's like he had a script. He did, I said quietly. She sat down on the edge of the bed. I stayed by the door, giving her space. Do you know what hurts the most? She asked after a while. It's not the money. It's not even the cheating. It's realizing how easy it was for him to manipulate me. I thought I was getting stronger. I was just getting weaker. Clara. Please, let me finish, she said. For 18 months, I believed I was evolving, that I was becoming my true self. But every breakthrough, every revelation, it was him. His words, his control. Have you talked to the other women? I asked. She nodded. Melissa organized a meeting last night. There were 6 of us. Every single one had the same story. We all thought we were special. 2 had already given him money. Are they going to report him? They can't prove anything, she said. He never promised financial returns. Just contribution to the mission. It's legal fraud disguised as spirituality. I sat in a chair across from her. What are you going to do now? I don't know, she said. I can't go back to that group. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. But I can't pretend the last 18 months didn't happen either. They happened, I said softly. But you learned something. What did I learn? That you're human, I said. That you can be fooled, like anyone else. It doesn't make you weak. She gave a shaky laugh. Why are you being kind to me after everything I did? Because anger doesn't help anyone, I said. And I'm not better than you. I just saw what you couldn't. Clara wiped her eyes. Mara's lucky to have you. I didn't respond. Ethan, she said after a pause, I'm going to sign the divorce papers. You're sure? Yes, you were right. We ended a long time ago. I just didn't want to admit it. Take your time, I said. You don't have to rush. I'm not rushing, she said. I'm finally stopping. She stood, walked to the window, and stared out at the gray afternoon light. You know what Sandra told me before we hung up? What? She said it took her 3 years to recover. 3 years of therapy, rebuilding her trust, her self-esteem. She told me the first few months are the hardest. And what did you say? I asked. I told her I've wasted enough time on Evan. I'm not giving him 3 more years. For the first time in months, I saw a glimpse of the old Clara, the determined woman I fell in love with years ago, the one who built a career from scratch. That's the right attitude, I said. She turned to me, tears still in her eyes but steadier now. Thank you for showing me the truth. You didn't have to. I didn't do it for you, I said honestly. I did it because it was right. She nodded. That makes it mean more. My phone buzzed. A text from Mara. Everything okay? I typed.